Everybody, it's Victor. It's time for another Eden Run here, the Binding of Isaac Victor Repentance series. Happy Tuesday, Mosh Pit. We have a couple videos that are very close to 3,000 likes, especially over the weekend. So go check them out. We had a lot of great runs. Also, go check out the Balatro series, of course, and thank you for those of you who've been doing so as well. Here's your meme of the day, brought to you by Painter D&D W40K. Title thread was episode 974. They never saw it coming. The unsuspecting enemies. The Black Heart Generator 9000. I do appreciate how I have apparently the Serpent's Kiss lips on there. Thank you very much, Painter. I appreciate it. Of course, always contributing to the meme of the day. Let's hop on in and get rock and roll. What kind of crazy adventures are we having today? Well, we're starting with the D100. Lima November 110, Alpha Zulu 4. We've got the D1 Hizzle and Infamy, and I'm just going to go... okay. Well, we lost a lot of damage. We gained minimal tears. And we lost Infamy and gained Camo Undies. So there's that. Also Curse of Darkness, by the way. But yeah, the D100 is basically an active item that is going to roll not only all your stats, but also all your items, and also everything on the ground, and also everything on an item pedestal, and also everything that is a rock, pot, skull, or other, and also going to restart a room. And also going to re-roll everything on the ground, because it's the D20 plus the D6 plus the D4 plus the D8 plus the D7 and the D12. Yep. So there's a lot of rolling going on. Okay, let's stop taking this damage here. Our shot it's way too early for us to be taking damage here. I mean, if we're gonna do a D100 roll fest, we gotta at least have a little bit of HP to survive with. So the D100, it can be good, it can be bad. You just have to be careful about re-rolling all your stats. Obviously, it is not an item that you want to it's not an item that you want to rely upon too much, because you never know what you're going to get. And honestly, it's not really the D100's fault, it's the D8's fault. That's where you can get into trouble with the D100. It's just constantly re-rolling your stats. My God, we are super fast. Whenever Camo Undies is just like cracked. So we're going to get Bozo, which is of course going to give us a a Soul Heart. Looking for the Ultra Secret room here. It's probably to the left of the item room, maybe. Yeah. Okay, Berserk is bad, but I am going to re-roll it here with the D1 Hizzle. And actually, I probably didn't even have to do that because we had oh, okay. We did have the D12 roll, so I didn't actually have to use that key. So I am going to take the Soul Heart. Now, the Soul of Hee-Haw is interesting. I want to see what we get with Esau Jr. Just to see. Yeah, I mean, honestly, our damage is not bad as Esau Jr. This is a separate character, by the way, from Eden. I think the potential is there. If we can find another spacebar item, honestly, I would probably re-roll. Because here's the thing with Esau Jr. is that Esau Jr. starts off with flying. And that's really, really cool. And on top of that, we've got great stats to start with. Now, if we keep D100ing, we can basically stay as Esau Jr. And maintain our flying, but also, of course, enjoy the benefits of just re-rolling over and over and over again. In order for us to do that, however, we need to find a full charge, and I don't know if there's one over. Yeah, let's go check out this golden chest. Yeah, we've got a lot of keys over here. I mean, there probably isn't one inside of the member shop, but I'm going to try anyway. You never know. So we now have to make a decision whether or not we want to stay as Eden or if we want to stay as Esau Jr. Now, the only thing is that Esau Jr., we start off with less items because we lose basically one for every... We lose for one for every, I think, 3 items is the conversion or something like that we had on Eden. So it's not great in terms of our starting position here, but again, the added damage that we get as Esau Jr. here, on top of the fact we just have flying, is really good. Plus, I mean, our orbital that we've got is not like it's useless. You know, we can actually use it for a lot of, I mean, damage, which is something that we could always. It's always going to be useful. Let's put it that way. Yeah, just absolutely wrecked Haunt there. So, Mr. Dolly is going to give us some good tears rate. So, do we? I mean, honestly, I think we stick as Esau Jr. It's been a while since we had an Esau Jr. run. I'm definitely down for it. And our stats are much better off like this than with our starting stats as Eden. So yeah. Let's go ahead. Let's turn this into a cheeky little Esau Jr. run. It's not a character that you get to see a whole lot. I do like Esau Jr. because he does allow you to have an extra life in case if you do keep it. Baby. Well, I'll be looking forward to re-rolling a Demon Baby into a better Devil Deal item. While we get rocking and rolling on this run here, we go on to last week's question of the episode, which was from the Red Feast episode, which I was surprised that not a lot of people got the reference. It was supposed to be from the Red Wedding from Game of Thrones. Obviously, we tried to make Robb Stark and I don't know, I'm not quite sure who Alex was going for the other one, but obviously Eden was supposed to be Robb Stark, and it kind of missed the mark. So a lot of people didn't get the reference, but that's okay. Not every thumbnail lands, and it's not Alex's fault. I just sometimes I don't give good instructions. Better than sometimes other ones. Anyway, I asked, what is the greatest new game you've played within the last 5 years? Because obviously I was ranting and raving about Balatro. The most upvoted comment came in from Headwound04, who said that one is a hard one. That one is hard for me. It's Elden Ring, God of War Ragnarok, or Baldur's Gate 3 in the last 5 years. And wow, this is a 20. Oh man. Oh, brother, if we get a chance to get Brimstone, I'm gonna take it. And not, and I'm again fine with these stats here. I would love to get the 4.5 volt too. I've played Elden Ring. I didn't like it. It's mainly because like my thing. Here's my thing with Souls likes. I'm not good at Souls likes because I'm so used to Monster Hunter, right? The camera has always been a problem for me in Souls-likes, especially Elden Ring, especially in Dark Souls 2. Dark Souls 3 I did beat. It was a frustrating endeavor, but I did do it. But after playing Elden Ring, I pretty much decided that like I'm just not a Souls-like player. I'm just not, I don't have the right mentality for it. I was really hoping that was going to be a 2 of diamonds here. Definitely would love to get Brimstone if we can. I don't know, man. It's gonna be difficult now. Hang on a second. Now we got the Hermit card, y'all. Eden's Blessing is gonna give us an extra item tomorrow, but more importantly, gives us a tears rate upgrade. So the Hermit card is interesting here because a reverse Hermit card, because what this does is it will take all the pickups on the ground and convert them to money, essentially. So if we are going to use this, and that includes item pedestals as well. If we are going to use this, we need to use it in a place that has an item pedestal that we don't care about, but also has a bunch of stuff on the ground that we can pick up with the counterfeit penny. So let's fight the boss first, and let's see what the boss gives us. Because this could be an opportunity for us to use the reverse Hermit card on the item pedestal, and then just spawn a bunch of money so we can get Brimstone, and possibly maybe even get 4.5 volt, which would be epic. And I'm going to leave that there because, again, I've already explained what we're doing. I'm not going to go into the Devil Deal because I want Angel Deals for this particular build. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to drop everything here. And we're going to go pick up the rune. We're going to go pick up every trinket that's on the ground, including Maggie's Faith. And then we're going to use the reverse Hermit card. Might be able to bomb our way into the secret room. Okay, maybe. Hang on now. We don't want to pick this up yet because obviously we need to have the counterfeit penny now. It is possible that we might re-roll this instead. in order for us to get back in here, it's going to cost us some bombs. Because as soon as we leave here, it's not going to stay open. You see, like that. I think that it's better if we just do it let's stick to the plan here. If we need another soul heart, I can go back and go in there and do the boss trap room for some bombs. I mean, we would get extra bombs on the ground if we took matchbook. But I like this play a little bit better. So, again, I'm going to leave the money on the ground in the secret room. We're going to pick up Butt Penny just because it's just something that we can use on the ground. I mean, this is only going to cost us one red heart container and possibly profit us Brimstone and maybe even 4.5 volt if we're lucky, if we get some good procs with the counterfeit penny. So we're making it's some unorthodox plays today. I'm not going to use it yet because I do want to go into. Let's go into the cursed room, or not cursed room, but secret room. Pick this up. Let's see how much real estate we've got to go through. Okay, we got some good procs there with the counterfeit penny. We also got a lucky penny there. We should try to find the super secret room. We only have one bomb to do it in because if we are going to go into the mob trap room, the boss trap room, we need a bomb to do so. We did find it on our first try. It's a golden key, which unfortunately is, yeah, I mean, it's worth a lot, but it's not, we can't drag it with us, so. Okay, let's see if this gambit pays off for us. I hope so. Okay, so we have 13 cents. We need to get a grand total of 43 cents. Oh, yeah, we absolutely smashed it. Oh, man, what a play. 64 cents. We're going to come away with Brimstone and also the 4.5 volt. So we don't have to worry about the D100 getting rid of all of our stats anymore. We've got flying as Esau Jr. And, yeah, that's just really, really good. I'm going to take the soul converter in case we need the HP. I'm not going to use it right now, but we don't need the D100 anymore. So yeah, that was a really, really strong play here. And hey, look, I even remembered to go into the door. Now, what I think we should do is we should go back into the boss trap room and get those extra bombs. And also, I'm trying my hardest to run in this fire. And also get the bombs and the soul heart from matchbook. So that was a phenomenal play, I've got to say, and honestly, it was really just a clutch. It was a clutch reverse hermit card. It's a card that you don't see me use that often, just because there's not really any. I don't want to say need for it, but like it's not. It never. The play never really presents itself as something that we need to do, right? It's just kind of like it's kind of like a secondary objective for it's like, you know, if we get it, great. If not, no big deal type thing. But this is one of the cases where it was really, really clutch. I definitely think it deserves a like for that. That was a good play, I think. The second most upvoted comment. Oh yeah, that's right. So I've never played any of the God of Wars, and I played Baldur's Gate. I failed the first roll ever, and it was a 95%, and I immediately uninstalled and never played again. So yeah, that was my foray into Baldur's Gate. It's actually not true. I played a little bit, but I don't care for those type of games. They're just boring to me. The second most upvoted comment came in from Jack Mortera, 1380, who said Liza P was probably one of the highest quality, most engaging games I've played recently. Again, another Souls-like, which seems to be like a really, really common theme across a lot of across a lot of these lists where we ask about, you know, what was the best game in X amount of years. Souls-likes, they're so popular, and I can't get down with them, man. Like I tried. Bloodborne was about the closest thing that I really liked. I did like Dark Souls 3, even though it was frustrating, but it wasn't as bad as Dark Souls 2 was for me. But yeah, I mean, Liza P, again, another Souls-like, Soulsborne, whatever you want to call it. Very cool to watch, but it's just definitely not up my alley. And last but not least, we had Bishop659. This was actually the second most upvoted comment, but it was underneath the third most upvoted comment, who said, I'm a huge Zelda head, so it was Tears of the Kingdom for me. And again, just another, that's just another classic, it's another classic game franchise that I'd never really stuck with. Just because, like, I played the original Ocarina of Time. I thought it was a great game. I never played Majora's Mask or anything like that, just because at that point I was doing football and all that kind of good stuff. And it was great to play, but it's just I've never been a big fan of the Zelda series. I've always been a fan of Final Fantasy. But I know that Tears of the Kingdom, spawned a lot of games that I enjoyed. I mean, I enjoyed playing Genshin Impact. I thought that was fun. A lot of other games had a very similar art style to it. What was the recent one? Oh, Palworld. Palworld, yeah, was called a rip-off of that. Yeah, I've never been huge on the Zelda franchise. It's never stuck with me. Same with Mario, the Mario franchise. I've always been a Final Fantasy fanboy. And even then, like, I kind of fell off with Final Fantasy after a while because they started getting really Looney Tunes with it. Like, I don't know. Like, I guess I'm just boring. Maybe I'm old school. I enjoy just the regular old traditional fantasy setting. Like with I did like the airships, like in Final Fantasy 1. They had like the medieval classic fighter, mage, cleric type archetype and everything. I don't know. That's just my jam. Like I said, I might be boring, but actually I know I'm boring. I don't know why people watch me. And the super secret room up here. We could tap the confessional booth here just to see if we maybe get an angel item. Obviously, getting 9 lives is great, although we don't have a Devil Deal precedent, so it doesn't really help us that much. And obviously, I'm saving this Perthro rune and the mystery gift for an angel deal. Thank you, Old Bandage. Thank you, Old Bandage. We got ourselves a soul heart. Old Bandage. Old Bandage. Don't be so mean. Look at that. We got ourselves another soul heart, and Old Bandage is just going off here. Wow. Wow, that was impressive. So if you didn't know, Old Bandage... Well, now I gotta do it. Old Bandage will proc based on your luck rating, and it will sometimes give you a full red heart. And it's beautiful and perfect for plays like this, whenever you have a half heart. Whenever you're not being whenever you're not being dinged for a full heart of damage in the late game, this is just ideal here because you can almost endlessly play stuff like this. Same thing, it goes for like Sanguine Bond, Temperance Machines, Demon Judgments, anything that causes Isaac damage can proc Old Bandage to just go off, and it is a lovely thing whenever it happens. Very funny. I did a recent deep dive on the Godzilla versus King Kong epic rap battles of history that they did on their channel last week, or it was actually maybe like a week and a half ago. It's funny because like there's so many Godzilla references that they make in that video that like I saw, thanks to the recommended tab, like apparently people just do reactions to epic rap battles, and there were a lot of people that I looked at who missed a lot of Godzilla references. And I get it, like if you don't watch the franchise, like you're not going to know a lot of the stuff, but like there are also some really clever hidden messages that epic rap battles did that like no one was picking up on, that I saw anyway. There's a Destroyer reference that they didn't recognize. And by the way, if you don't know Godzilla, none of this is going to make sense to you, but it trust me. Yeah, there's a Destroyer reference in there that Godzilla makes. King Kong references like Snoop, and like there was a talking about like the Oxygen Destroyer and all this stuff. It's very funny to me when people try to like explain away something that they don't understand and they're just like kind of wrong. Like it is definitely easily the best epic rap battles that they've ever written. Epic Lloyd and Nice Peter really outdid themselves, and I mean, it was actually linked on the Sinvicta subreddit. That's how I found out about it. Because I haven't watched them. They haven't done anything that I've seen in quite a while, but man, it was great to see them back in action. They were using some really cool tech too, so yeah, I did a deep dive on that. Maybe I probably won't release that on YouTube because there's a lot of swearing. But maybe I'll do it as like I don't know, maybe a special unlisted video or something. Oh, great. That's super. Real happy that we decided to wait for an angel deal. Angel deals, everybody. Really good. Really neat. Oh, we got to get some kind of value out of this, and that ain't it, Chief. I mean, the rosary's fine because there's a tears up, but we're swinging for the fences here. And yeah, that's better than the rosary. Blood of the Martyr is kind of whatever. Our prayer card's kind of whatever, not Blood of the Martyr. We get a lot of red heart upgrades here, which is honestly great if we end up getting a something like Sanguine Bond, because this is also going to be prime opportunity for Old Bandage to shine here. But people on stream were very impressed with how much I knew about Godzilla. Like I'm no poser. I've watched the franchise for I was a wee lad. Definitely my favorite character. It's such a great time to be a Godzilla fan, man. Like it really is. We got -1. The director of -1 has confirmed that they're going to start working on a sequel, which is just amazing. Although I am a little bit scared because obviously -1 was just such a masterpiece that, you know, I've talked about it before, but it kind of worries me in the way that Jaws 2. I mean, I wasn't alive when Jaws came out or Jaws 2, but you know, you see a masterpiece like Jaws, and then they're like, oh, they're making a sequel. It's like, why? why try to improve on perfection? You know. And I think that I don't remember if I just bombed that or not. And I'm worried that -1 will turn into like it's just going to be like I don't know. I don't know what I'm worried about. It's going to be weird seeing him fight another monster if that's what they're planning on doing. Now, one thing I would love to see is them expand on the whole lore of the movie, which I still won't talk about right now just because like it's still a little bit too new to spoil people, but let's just say something interesting happens at the very, very, very end of the movie. And I'm not talking about the post-credit scene, or I'm not, and not the final scene. I'm talking about the hospital scene. There's something that's very Shin Godzilla-like that happens, and I'm curious to see where they're gonna go with that. Lead pencil here. I'm glad that we did get another damage upgrade and also get Virgo. And we've also done another full clear. All right. Not sure where those shots came from. What is going on there? I guess the finger can just propel needles like that. That's just so weird. Game and its physics, man. I'm not sure where they're going to go with Godzilla -1, 2, or -2, or whatever it's going to be. I really hope that it just doesn't turn into, like, it's him versus just another monster, and, you know, it's like Japanese version of the Monsterverse, basically. And, or Japan's version of the Monsterverse, because, you know, I am getting more hype for the new Godzilla movie, GVK, or Godzilla vs. Kong: The New Empire. That movie's starting to look real crazy, like, and people do agree with me that I think it is getting pretty Avengers-esque now. I mean, in the newest trailer, they've got Godzilla giving like a piggyback ride to Kong, and it looks really cool. Like it makes you really excited to see that happen. But it's like, man, that is weird. Seeing King Kong just grab a ride on Godzilla's back. Godzilla kind of looks behind him. And he's like, "Hey, hop on," and King Kong's like, hell yeah, brother. Like, I don't know. It's cool, but also a little bit strange as a Godzilla fan. There's no sack room. We are way behind on boss rush. We haven't even been to the store yet, man. Like we're full clearing today. Today's a podcasty episode here. Esau Jr., I mean, us being Esau Jr. here, having the flying and Brimstone is just it just feels like it was a destined combo for us to get on this run. Especially with the Brimstone being half price in the secret shop of all places. Members only shop is quite nice. Check it out down here real quick, and I mean that's the second guppy item. We might as well take it. A little bit of a misplay. I could have picked up that nickel there while we still had the counterfeit penny, but ooh, that's good. That's good. Ourselves a soul heart here, which doesn't actually matter. I was gonna take the shortcut ride back to the start. Get me out of here. Yeah, there are so many references in that epic rap battles. I mean, Kong references so many good Godzilla burns, but Godzilla, I am biased, of course, but like Godzilla absolutely smokes Kong. It's like 2-1 Godzilla. Definitely could use some more damage here. I mean, more movement speed would be nice. Being able to kind of fly around a little bit faster would be beneficial to us. But I mean, we're in no danger of dying at all on this run. We've got flying, we got Brimstone, we've got good damage overall. I mean, I would love to get a little bit more, obviously, but it's just a nice, cozy run. So, like I said, it's just gonna be a nice podcasty run. I would love to still do a podcast eventually. I don't know if it'd be a solo cast or not. I'm not sure if people can take any more of me talking by myself to myself again. But, I also, like, if I did, like, a guest podcasty type format, like, I don't know what the theme would be, because I don't want to do, like, an Isaac podcast, because I think that would be just really boring. I don't think that, because, I mean, every episode that I do is an Isaac podcast in a way, one of the coolest things I ever got to do was I got to interview Ed when Repentance came out, when they were doing the whole press tour for Repentance's impending release. That was a lot of fun. Speaking to Ed was really cool, because I've spoken to Ed before, but I've never actually like spoken to Ed. You know what I mean? So that was really a dream come true. But I don't think that I would want to do an Isaac podcast. I've moved on from the football podcast world. It's fun to talk about football, but like, again, like, really, Isaac is just, these episodes are like literally just a podcast in and of themselves. I'd still love to do something like that, though. First, the XL game is making sure that we're not going to get guppy. I just don't know what the theme would be. Like, I'm not a true crime fan. I don't particularly enjoy talking. I mean, I love talking about music, of course, but I'm not educated enough to be someone who you'd want to listen to on a regular basis speak about music. I mean, what more can I say than like, oh, I love heavy metal, I love rap, I love drum and bass. Like, I don't think I have a theme in mind. And I think a theme is pretty important for a podcast, you know. My friend Quiet Shy, she's done an excellent job producing the Warhammer podcast that we did the theme to, which was, you know, a lot of fun, and their podcast has really taken off. And you know, I've done the Chilluminati podcast. Obviously, I've done a lot of stuff with TB back in the day. Right, you can't hit us right here on the Co-optional podcast. And that's another thing, like, I don't think I'm much of an authority when it comes to gaming to be like, hey, I'm going to do a co-optional podcast-esque. That would be probably the closest thing that I could do, but even then, like, I don't know, like, I mean, there's so many gaming podcasts. Like, what can you really say, you know? And yeah, there you go. Like I said, game was just determined to never give us Guppy, which we should have seen by now. The writing was on the wall, as we have successfully gone through an entire run while trying to get Devil Deals after floor 2. Although I should say, by the way, that, like, yes, I don't know what was in that first Devil Deal on floor 2, obviously. At the time, it made more sense to go for Angel Deals because we didn't have a lot of HP. And on top of that, we had no idea what our rerolls would be, or let alone get ourselves the mystery gift. So, yeah. Hindsight's always 20/20. Ourselves a speed up here. How long have I been carrying that speed up, Bill? Or did that just drop? I'm not sure. Too busy. You get me talking about Godzilla and podcasting. Next thing you know, I'm happy. You know, I try to think about things that I'm passionate about. Like, I'm passionate about a lot of stuff. I'm not smart enough to have, like, an investing podcast. I'm not accomplished enough to really do, like, any sort of musician or YouTuber podcast. So I don't know. I don't know, man. At one point, I was going to do a podcast with my best friend, but we've figured out, or I guess we didn't really, like, fully dedicate to what we were going to do at the end of the day, but probably that would be filled with too many inside references that only he and I get, and I don't know if people want to hear that. Couldn't take the Ace of Diamonds. I'm glad we held on to that Queen of Hearts. Goes through here. Even then, like, if I did a podcast with him, like, I don't know what we would even talk about. We talk about the most random stuff when we hang out. It definitely would not be a rated G podcast. Let's put it that way. This is a good opportunity for us to maybe get one more Devil Deal. Obviously, we have the Devil Deal coming up in the dark chest, but I have no idea how much HP we have. Yeah, there's a miter. Walking out, walking back in. If you're wondering where that shield comes from, by the way, it's coming from Virgo. We on red hearts? We are red hearts here. Okie dokie. There we go. Oh yeah, we had plenty of HP. And we did get Guppy after all. Interesting. So we can actually use Forget Me Now and just run it back again. Maybe get second Brimstone. That'd be nice. Yeah. 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 Technically, we already had Brimstone, so it was a shot in the dark if we were ever going to see that again. I really don't listen to podcasts a whole lot. I love the Dead Meat podcast with my friends James and Chelsea. They do a fantastic horror-themed podcast where they talk over a lot of different topics. That again, I mean, those two are so smart when it comes to film and horror adaptations. And I mean, you know, both Chelsea and James are just incredible people. And I'm like I hear them talk all the time, and I'm just like, man, this is the level of talent that I have to like match, even have a chance to do anything in the podcasting world. And I'm like, yeah, I think it might be hopeless. I think that it's just like a random project. I don't know. And before you say anything, no, there's way too many Godzilla podcasts out there. Like way, way, way too many. I'm not ready to go into that world. I promise you that. So we're gonna get a dub here, very easy dub. I gotta say that you know, Esau Jr. If anything, if this was a slightly uneventful run, that's because it just shows you how good Esau Jr. is. I mean, getting flying right off the bat. You know, we had a good roll there with our stats, and you know, even though the orbital didn't really matter that much, still great job. And we got Eden's. I believe we have Eden's blessing still. That was active on. Yes, that was active on Eden, or that was active on Esau Jr. So tomorrow we might be starting with an extra item. I'm not sure how it works with Esau Jr. He's a little bit of a weird character, but a very good one at that. So thank you for watching, everyone. Thanks for listening to this 37-minute and 2-second podcast. If you enjoyed the video, click the like button. If you didn't, click the dislike button. Either way, both of those ways help support my channel. And again, thank you all very much for supporting myself and the Isaac Victus series. Let's get these videos over 3,000 likes, because I know a lot of people are looking forward to TM Trainer Week. Every week for the month, I should say. Yeah, thank you for liking, commenting, subscribing, and as always, I will see you all next time. Until then, so long, everybody. Thanks for watching this video. I'd like to thank some patrons of mine like Alec Holloman, Wyatt Sipes, and Flashback 007. If you'd like to have your name read at the end of an Isaac episode, check out my Patreon campaign, which you can find at patreon.com/Invicta.